Ladies and gentlemen, time is the most valuable resource we have. You can lose money and make it back. You can lose opportunities and find new ones, but once a second passes, it never returns. So if you want success, the first question you must ask yourself is not what you want to do, but how you want to spend your time. Time is the most valuable resource we have in our lives, and the way we treat it often determines whether we achieve our goals or remain stuck where we are. Many people fail to realize this until it is too late, and by then, they look back with regret. Unlike money, which you can lose and earn again, time once spent is gone forever. Every second, every minute, every hour that passes will never return. That is why wasting time is one of the greatest mistakes anyone can make. And one of the most common ways people waste their time is through constant complaining. Complaining consumes energy, it drains your spirit, and it gives you nothing in return. You can complain for an hour about how unfair life is, but when you finish, nothing has changed. The problem is still there, but you are 1 hour poorer in your life. Think about it. If someone gave you a limited number of gold coins, would you spend them carelessly? Of course not. You would treasure them, save them, and use them wisely. Time is far more precious than gold, but many treat it as if it has no value. Complaining about problems, about people, about the government, about opportunities you didn't get is like throwing away gold coins one by one. Every minute you spend complaining is a minute you could have used to search for a solution, learn a new skill, or take a small step forward. That is the real difference between people who succeed and those who stay behind. Successful people face the same difficulties as everyone else. They also meet failures, setbacks, and disappointments, but instead of wasting time complaining, they use that same time to think about what they can do next. When you complain, you are giving away control of your life. You are saying that the world is responsible for your failures, that others have power over your destiny. But when you stop complaining, you take back that control. You begin to see that every challenge is a chance to grow, every obstacle is a lesson, and every failure is simply a step toward improvement. You cannot change the past, and you cannot control everything around you, but you can control how you use your time and energy. There is also another danger in complaining. It doesn't only waste your time, it spreads negativity to others. If you constantly complain, the people around you will either feel discouraged or slowly move away from you. Nobody wants to follow someone who only sees problems and never talks about solutions. On the other hand, if you spend your time working hard, encouraging others, and staying focused, people will want to be near you. Opportunities often come not from luck, but from the positive energy you give to others, and that starts with refusing to waste time on useless complaints. Consider how much time you might be losing without even realizing it. 10 minutes complaining in the morning, another half hour talking negatively with friends, maybe an hour in the evening blaming yourself or others for what went wrong. In just one day, you could waste 2 hours or more. Multiply that by a week and you have already lost a full day. Multiply it by a year and you have lost more than 50 days of your life. Imagine what you could achieve with 50 extra days of learning, practicing, and improving yourself. That is the hidden cost of complaining, a cost far higher than most people realize. The wiser choice is to replace complaints with action. The moment you feel like complaining, stop and ask yourself, what can I do about it? If there is nothing you can do, then move forward and don't waste another second. If there is something you can do, then act immediately, no matter how small the step. There is also another danger in complaining. It doesn't only waste your time, it spreads negativity to others. If you constantly complain, the people around you will either feel discouraged or slowly move away from you. Nobody wants to follow someone who only sees problems and never talks about solutions. On the other hand, if you spend your time working hard, encouraging others, and staying focused, people will want to be near you. Opportunities often come not from luck, but from the positive energy you give to others, and that starts with refusing to waste time on useless complaints. Consider how much time you might be losing without even realizing it. 10 minutes complaining in the morning, another half hour talking negatively with friends, maybe an hour in the evening blaming yourself or others for what went wrong. In just one day, you could waste 2 hours or more. Multiply that by a week, and you have already lost a full day. Multiply it by a year, and you have lost more than 50 days of your life. Imagine what you could achieve with 50 extra days of learning, practicing, and improving yourself. That is the hidden cost of complaining, a cost far higher than most people realize. The wiser choice is to replace complaints with action. The moment you feel like complaining, stop and ask yourself, What can I do about it? If there is nothing you can do, then move forward and don't waste another second. If there is something you can do, then act immediately, no matter how small the step may be. Even one small action is more valuable than hours of complaints. Action builds momentum, momentum creates progress, and progress leads to success. Time is not fair or unfair, it is equal. Everyone receives the same 24 hours every day. The rich do not receive more, and the poor do not receive less. The only difference is how people choose to spend their time. Some invest it in growth, in building, in learning, while others spend it in worry, excuses, and complaints. That choice is the line that separates those who reach success from those who do not. Investing daily in learning and self-improvement is one of the wisest ways anyone can use their time, because knowledge is the foundation of growth and the fuel that drives success. The world changes rapidly, and those who stop learning are quickly left behind. What you know today may be outdated tomorrow, and the skills that seem valuable now may not be enough in the future. This is why consistent learning is not a luxury. It is a necessity. Many people think learning ends after school or university, but in reality, that is only the beginning. Formal education gives you tools, but continuous learning sharpens those tools and teaches you how to use them effectively. If you dedicate even 1 hour a day to improving yourself, whether through reading, practicing, or observing, you will find that over time, the difference between you and those who do not invest in themselves becomes enormous. There is a saying that success belongs to those who prepare for it. Preparation is not about waiting for luck or opportunities to appear. It is about using your time to build skills, gather knowledge, and strengthen your character so that when opportunities do come, you are ready to seize them. Many people miss chances not because they never had them, but because they were unprepared. By spending your time learning every day, you ensure that you are always ready when the right moment arrives. Learning does not always mean sitting with books or attending classes. It can come from experiences, conversations, failures, and even observing how others handle situations. Every person you meet knows something you do not, and every challenge you face carries a lesson if you are willing to look for it. The problem is that many waste these chances by ignoring them or by thinking they already know enough. The moment you believe you know everything is the moment you stop growing. True wisdom comes from risk. One of the mistakes people make is waiting for the right time to start learning. They say they are too busy, too tired, or too old, but time will pass regardless of whether you use it or waste it. Even a small effort, such as reading a few pages of a book, practicing one new word in another language, or learning one new skill, accumulates over time. The results may not show immediately, but after months and years, the difference becomes impossible to ignore. Small, consistent learning beats big but irregular efforts. It is like planting seeds every day. At first, nothing seems to grow, but with time, you will find yourself standing in a forest of knowledge that others will admire. In today's world, where information is everywhere, there are no excuses. You can learn from books, videos, podcasts, mentors, and experiences. The resources are unlimited, but the question is whether you will dedicate your time to them or waste it on distractions that give you nothing in return. The people who rise above the rest are not always the most talented, but they are the ones who commit to improving themselves day by day, never satisfied with what they already know, always hungry for more. Do you want me to expand keynote number 3 into 700 words as well, in the same style? Building strong relationships and surrounding yourself with the right people is one of the smartest uses of your time because no one achieves lasting success alone. Every great accomplishment in history has been the result of people working together, supporting one another, and combining their strengths to achieve what would be impossible individually. Yet many underestimate the power of relationships and waste their time with people who drain their energy, discourage their dreams, and keep them from growing. The truth is, the people you choose to spend your time with will either lift you up or pull you down, and his choice can determine the direction of your entire life. Think about it this way. Time is limited, and every moment you spend with someone is an investment. If you spend your time with people who constantly complain, who never try to improve themselves, who laugh at ambition and criticize effort, you are investing in negativity. Slowly, their mindset becomes yours, their limits become your limits, and without realizing it, you adopt their habits and excuses. On the other hand, if you spend your time with people who inspire you, challenge you, and push you to grow, you are investing in progress. Their energy becomes contagious, their discipline becomes motivating, and their their vision helps you expand your own. Strong relationships are not just about finding people who agree with you. They are about finding people who care enough to tell you the truth, who correct you when you are wrong, and who remind you of your potential when you forget it yourself. Real friends and mentors are not always comfortable to be around because they push you beyond your limits. But that discomfort is what drives growth. The wrong people will encourage you to stay comfortable, to take the easy road, to accept less than what you are capable of. The right people will challenge you to take risks, to learn more, and to aim higher. Relationships also shape opportunities. Many doors in life are not opened by knowledge alone, but by connections and trust. When you spend time building genuine relationships, you're also building bridges to opportunities you might never reach by yourself. Someone who trusts you might recommend you for a project. Someone who believes in you might invest in your idea. And someone who values you might introduce you to people who can change your life. But these things only happen if you invest your time wisely in nurturing meaningful connections rather than shallow interactions. Building strong relationships also means learning how to give, not only how to take. Too often people approach relationships with the mindset of what they can get rather than what they can. Surrounding yourself with the right people also protects you from the loneliness and stress that often come with chasing big goals. The path to success is not easy, and there will be times of doubt, failure, and exhaustion. In those moments, the people around you can either be the ones who pull you back on your feet or the ones who push you further down. If you have chosen wisely, their encouragement will give you strength when you feel like quitting. If you have not, you may find yourself alone or even worse, surrounded by voices that tell you to give up. This is why being intentional about who you allow into your circle is one of the most important time investments you can make. There is also great value in learning from those ahead of you. Mentors, teachers, and experienced individuals can save you years of wasted effort by sharing the lessons they learned through their own struggles. Spending time with them allows you to see further, think deeper, and avoid mistakes you might not notice on your own. Likewise, spending time with people who are just starting out can remind you of the passion and energy you once had, keeping your own spirit alive. The balance of giving and receiving in relationships makes growth sustainable and meaningful. Your time is too precious to waste on toxic relationships, empty conversations, and meaningless connections. Every hour spent with the wrong people is an hour taken away from building with the right ones. Choosing wisely may not always be easy, but it is necessary if you want your time to lead you towards success rather than away from it. You said keynote number 4. Expand it into 700 words. Don't add ending sentences. Don't add any headings. ChatGPT said, protecting your health and energy for long-term success is one of the most overlooked yet most essential uses of time. Many people believe success comes only from working longer hours, sacrificing sleep, and pushing themselves to the limit. But this approach often destroys the very foundation that allows them to perform at their best. Health is like the engine of a car. No matter how powerful the design or how ambitious the destination, without a strong and well-maintained engine, the car cannot move. Similarly, without taking care of your body and mind, you cannot sustain effort, focus, or creativity, no matter how big your dreams are. Time spent on health is not wasted time, it is invested time. When you exercise regularly, you're not just building muscles or improving your appearance, you're strengthening your resilience, your energy levels, and your ability to stay disciplined. A strong body supports a strong mind, and both are necessary for success. Many people wait until illness forces them to care about health, but by then they are already paying the price. Preventing problems before they happen through consistent exercise, balanced eating, and enough rest is far more effective than trying to repair damage later. Energy is just as important as time itself, because having hours in the day means nothing if you are too exhausted to use them effectively. A tired mind cannot think clearly, make good decisions, or innovate. A drained body cannot endure challenges or handle stress. Protecting your energy means knowing when to push forward and when to recover, when to give your maximum effort, and when to step back to regain strength. Many people confuse busyness with productivity, working day and night without realizing that their declining energy is reducing the quality of their work. 1 hour of focused effort with full energy is more valuable than 5 hours of tired, distracted work. Sleep is often sacrificed by those chasing success, but it is one of the most powerful tools for protecting health and energy. During sleep, the brain processes information, repairs itself, and prepares for the next day. Without enough rest, creativity fades, memory weakens, and decision-making suffers. Some may brag about working through the night, but Mental health is another part of this equation. Stress, anxiety, and negative thoughts can drain energy even more than physical exhaustion. Protecting your health means not only caring for your body, but also creating space for peace of mind. Time spent meditating, reflecting, or simply stepping away from pressure is vital for maintaining balance. When your mind is clear, you make better choices, handle problems with patience, and see opportunities that stress would normally hide from you. Protecting your mental energy also means staying away from environments or people who constantly create negativity because their influence directly impacts your state of mind. Nutrition is another area where time spent wisely pays great dividends. Food is fuel, and the quality of fuel determines the performance of the engine. Eating without care, relying on processed or unhealthy foods may save time in the moment but cost energy in the long term. A body fueled with the right nutrients performs better, recovers faster, and endures challenges more effectively. Time spent preparing or choosing healthy meals is therefore an act of protecting both your present energy and your future health. Work-life balance is a concept often spoken of, but rarely practiced. Protecting your health and energy requires balance between ambition and rest, between work and personal life. If all your time is consumed by work, your relationships, happiness, and inner peace will suffer, eventually reducing the quality of your efforts. Taking time to enjoy life, to laugh, to spend moments with family or friends is not a distraction from success, but a reinforcement of it. These experiences renew your spirit and give you strength to keep going when the journey becomes tough. Longevity matters as much as achievement. What good is reaching success if your health collapses before you can enjoy it? Many people see fast results by overworking. But true success is not only about reaching a destination, it is about staying strong enough to sustain it and live through it. Protecting your health ensures that when opportunities come, you have the strength and energy to seize them fully. It ensures that the success you build does not cost you the very life you wanted to improve in the first place. Success comes from how you use your 24 hours, not how many you have, because time is the one resource that is given equally to every person on earth. A billionaire, a student, a worker, a leader, or someone struggling to survive all receive the same 24 hours in a day. What separates them is not the number of hours, but the way those hours are managed, valued, and invested. Many people dream of success, but waste countless hours on distractions, excuses, and unimportant activities. Meanwhile, those who succeed are not always more talented or more intelligent, but they are more disciplined in how they spend their time. When you look at a day, it may seem long, but in reality, it passes quickly. Small choices, repeated daily, determine where you end up. If you spend hours scrolling through your phone, gossiping, or procrastinating, you may not notice the loss immediately. But over months and years, that wasted time adds up to lost opportunities, unlearned skills, and unrealized potential. In contrast, if you dedicate even a portion of your day consistently to meaningful tasks, learning, building, and growing, the results accumulate. Success is rarely the result of one dramatic effort. It is usually the product of thousands of small, wise uses of time. It is also important to recognize that not all hours have equal value. An hour of focused, high-quality work in the morning may be worth far more than 3 hours of tired, distracted effort at night. This is why successful people pay attention and not only to how much time they spend, but also to how effectively they use it. They plan their days, prioritize important tasks, and guard their energy for the work that matters most. They understand that being busy does not equal being productive, and that filling time with activity is not the same as investing it in progress. People often say they do not have enough time, but the truth is that everyone has enough time for what they truly value. If someone says they don't have time to learn, to exercise, or to build relationships, it usually means they are prioritizing something else instead. The difference between success and failure often lies in these priorities. Choosing to spend an hour improving yourself rather than wasting it on distractions may not seem like a big deal in one day, but over a year it creates a gap so wide that others cannot easily catch up. Time management is not only about schedules and routines, it is about clarity of purpose. When you know what you want in life, you naturally begin to use your hours more wisely. Without direction, it is easy to waste time on things that do not matter, but with clear goals, every decision about time becomes easier. People who succeed often look at their day as an investment portfolio. Every hour must bring some return, whether in knowledge, health, relationships, or progress toward their vision. If an activity brings no return, they minimize it or eliminate it. Discipline plays a huge role here. It is easy to spend time on things that are comfortable, entertaining, or effortless. But discipline is what allows you to use your 24 hours for what truly counts, even when it feels difficult. Waking up early to study, practicing when you feel tired, choosing to work on a project instead of wasting hours on distractions. All these small decisions shape the path to success. Without discipline, even the most talented person can waste their potential, but with discipline, even someone with fewer resources can rise above. Another important factor is balance. Using your 24 hours wisely does not mean working non-stop. It means designing your time in a way that supports long-term growth and well-being. This includes time for rest, time for reflection, time for family, and time for yourself. Success built without balance is fragile because exhaustion and burnout eventually destroy productivity. Those who truly master their time know how to create harmony between effort and recovery, between ambition and peace. Ultimately, the 24 hours we each receive are like raw material. They can be shaped into something meaningful, wasted on nothing, or worse, spent building someone else's dreams while neglecting your own. The difference lies in the choices made hour by hour, day by day. People who achieve success treat time as a treasure, guarding it carefully, spending it intentionally, and refusing to give it away to meaningless distractions. Those who fail often treat time as endless, believing they can waste today and still have tomorrow to fix it. But tomorrow is never guaranteed, and the way you use your hours today creates the foundation for your future.